is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wingin podcast. Jack, how you doing, man?
Hey man, I'm here. I am fantastic, and as you can see, Reading Rainbow should come back.
With LeVar Burton,
Yes,
since y'all didn't want to give him Jeopardy.
I needed to come back because reading comprehension. Woo,
Boy,
boy.
boy, education, people. Education is important. Boy. Education is important. Education is important, people. So, y'all already know what we're talking about. Y'all can tell by the title, the reveal. Reading is fundamental. It is. So the Switch 2 reveal happened on Wednesday. We did a live stream. Hope everybody had a chance to catch that. There was a lot of stuff that they talked about for over an hour. And then we had 2 days of Treehouse Live events.
Mm-hmm.
I still have not watched all of the Treehouse Lives. There's a couple of them I missed, like I didn't watch the Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. I need to watch that one.
Yeah.
And Dragon Drive, I need to watch that.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah, I need to watch both of those.
I would have told you if it was a waste, but nah, though you need to watch both of those.
Yeah, but I did watch Donkey Kong. Of course, I watched the Mario Kart World one. I had to watch the Zelda one. Y'all know. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Y'all, I had to watch Zelda.
Have to.
And the GameCube one. Had to watch that.
Yeah, about to say, your card to get revoked if you didn't watch those.
Yeah, and I watched the Metroid Prime one with the greatest hater of 2025, Silence. So there's a lot that we're gonna go over. But first, I wanted to get the guys' thoughts on the reveal itself. We're gonna get into the BS at the end. I'm saving that for last. But what I want to do is start off with the reveal itself, and our thoughts on that, on the overall reveal. So, Jack, I'll let you start this one off.
So for me, in grand scope, after being able to sit down and digest what we watched live, and accepting everything, I loved everything that they showed. So let me start off with the bad for me. I am in agreement that the console price should have been shown. I don't care about game pricing being shown. I don't think anybody's ever put game pricing in a presentation.
No, they didn't.
So I wish they would have put like, hey, 450 and then the 500. Not because of the stupidity that happened afterwards, but just that's typically what ends up happening. So that way you can kind of gauge what's going on. And even when we got done with the stream, the US site wasn't up to date yet. So that's why all the other stupidity happened, because everybody went region hopping, trying to figure out the pricing that happened like minutes after. So if I had to give a knock to the presentation, like I mentioned in my video, if you're going to tell somebody to go somewhere to check for further information, have it up to date like immediately. And I believe it was up ready to go probably like an hour later. But we had to dig quite a bit, and it was kind of being piecemealed. So that's my only knock on that portion. And then I'm still not a fan of like the Switch 2 edition games. Like, I think that would have been best served if you just said, hey, if you own these games, you can pay for the upgrade packs. I feel like we usually see these things after the game's been out for a while. Well, granted, these games have been out for a while, but usually they're like bundle packs to kind of say, okay, this is like the second run and it's got all the DLC, similar to what Capcom's doing with Street Fighter. They're giving you year 1 and 2 DLC along with, the actual game. So that was kind of confusing as into why they chose to go the edition route. Because it just gave that false narrative that these are $80 games, when in reality it's just the base level of the Switch 1 game with the upgrade pack. I think, to me, I was like, I didn't understand that, but I had a theory that the only reason I see them doing this is if, for whatever reason, they're going to stop printing the Switch 1 cartridges with the Switch 1 casing. That's the only thing I could think of. But outside of those two things, I loved everything. Finally got my DK. God, like that's like people will say like, oh, it's an exaggeration if I put like, oh, it's been forever. Look at the years. Like, look how long it's been.
Yeah, literally.
Whether you're talking 2D or 3D, like it's been a minute. Yeah. So I was happy to see that. Seeing Mario Kart World, which I'll go on the record, never in a million years would I've guessed that. I would have never guessed it, because the only thing I was saying, okay, Mario Kart needs to get like a color commentary with the flower. So to kind of add some more to the feel of the race, similar to what they have with the arcade games. So that was my only injection into what I feel like would bring something new to Mario Kart. But this is amazing. Not to mention, I know we haven't seen everything because we got a whole direct. And if you saw all the 1,500 Treehouse lives they did,
they did go overboard.
You know, this many times, and you're still holding a direct. That lets me know you're holding out completely. I've watched some of other footage and seen like it looks like they're gonna have a battle mode and like it looked like there was a coin at the end too. So we might have like a coin collection mode or whatever. And then of course, you know, with the 50 characters and so far and so on. So there's more to this game, and I hope it's a story mode that they show off. I didn't have any interest in Cyberpunk 2027, but I'm at 2077, but I will be trying it out on this, like giving it a shot. Because I haven't given it a shot. The only time I've really played it is a friend of mine had it on PC, and he was already like towards the end of the game. So I will give it a shot because I'm not a big fan of FPS games. Happy to see Hades 2. You know, happy to see Kirby Air Riders coming. The Switch Switch NSO getting GameCube. The upgrades to Zelda. I hate the fact that I might have to go get Scarlet and Violet because now they're gonna run better, like run as they should. And I blame Sandstorm. I blame him because him and Vito both have told me like this game is really good. It just runs bad, but the game is good.
Man, what about that Pokemon Za?
Oh, and that's being top too. Because me and Geronimo said the same thing. The second time they showed that game, he was like, "This game looks really good." Like, granted, we out here, you know, Pokemon fighting, aka dog fighting at night, but you know,
in them back alleys, they showed a back alley. I'm like, bro, I know.
Back alley Pokemon game.
There's a back alley Pokemon fight. Like, no,
not just a back alley Pokemon game, not just a back alley Pokemon fight. Back alley Pokemon gang fights.
Yeah,
gang fights. And money's being exchanged.
Yeah, so this is straight up. They out here gambling. Like, yo, I got my Zapdos gonna whoop you. Trust me, it's gonna whoop you.
Yeah.
See, they just need to add a feature of like you saying, okay, because you know how you automatically get a certain amount when you beat a trainer. I want you to be able to like, hey, I bet I'm gonna win this fight. I'm gonna put this much on it. Like if they do that, hey.
I just want to know what Mafia Kingpin gonna be a Pokemon trainer in this one,
bro.
That's all I want to know. What Mafia Kingpin
and watch they be a part of the program that built these zones out. Watch it be the person that built these zones.
Yeah. He gonna have a well pressed flat suit.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I have to get that. I love what I saw with the mouse mode. And especially when I saw other people playing it at like the media event, to where how seamless it is. I thought it was going to be like anything else. You just go into the controller settings and swap it, but it's seamless. It's just flipping it. And I'm like, that's crazy. The game chat, I think we kind of mentioned last night on Sandstorm's podcast that having that visual really adds more to it. You know what I'm saying? Because like chatting is one thing, but to actually visually see, you know, the people that you're playing with, I think it'd be pretty dope. And then plus it's something that me and the kids are going to do with Jamboree.
Yeah, until you play Mario Party, your kids start stealing stars from you.
Hey, they already cursed out now. So it's one of those things of like they already know what time it is. But and then also seeing like after fact too, because they showed off the camera, which looks real sleek and it matches the Switch too.
Yeah.
But then Powerade pops up with a Piranha Plant camera, and I was like, that's the one.
That's the one. That's the one.
That's the one. So it was amazing, not to get into everything, but you know, it was going to be a day one with me regardless. But of course, you know, we always had to see the games that we were going to purchase with it, and I'm not happy because my wallet's not happy, and because Split Fiction is there day one, Mario Kart World is there day one. It's a lot of day ones.
It's a lot of day one stuff, dude. That's what I'm like.
I'm not happy.
Yeah.
I'm not happy, and then Donkey Kong is a month later. I'm not. So my wife asked me, she's like, "What you want to do with your birthday?" I said, "Save that money up. We ain't going like just hold it. Just hold on to it. Give me a gift card or something, but just hold on to it because that's where it's going.
Yeah,
that's where it's going.
Just pile up a gift card because it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, Sandstorm. So your overall thoughts on the review?
First off, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, look. Hey,
Yes, sir.
you batting clean, brother.
Can you all see me?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, my thought on the reveal. I think it was an absolute amazing reveal. I think they started off real dope, like with the whole Mario Kart world. Threw us for a loop, showing the grinding and bouncing off the walls and all that stuff. That was crazy. Some things kind of missed me a little bit. I would say I get it. The what is it called? The tour one? What is it?
World Tour.
World Tour.
Yeah.
Kind of missed me, but then they showed it in the treehouse, and then I was like, okay, this makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
But then it kind of missed me because it was one of those that was it came on the price tag, but then Jack kind of threw it out there yesterday, but like as we have been defending Twitter like we the Avengers or something, going crazy. That Nintendo doesn't really try and like give you stuff for free in the first place. And that like every property is a property meant to like obviously make sales. So
Right.
but yeah, wild though that they talked about hardware, because that's something that Nintendo doesn't do. And
Right.
Nintendo said, you know what? This time,
what?
in the Marioverse, it's time to do some work. Like they talked.
People were asking for. That's what people were asking about. So you kind of had to address it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's wild because I think even when we were establishing bingo cards that. And I brought up the whole DLSS thing, and they were like, DLSS ain't gonna come up. I thought it was going to come from third parties. I thought the whole spec talk was going to come from third parties.
Me too.
And those things would trickle out. Like, oh, and it can do, 4K at 60 frames. And, I thought those things were coming from third party. And that's how we were going to get it. But Nintendo was like, we're going to do it ourselves. Matter of fact, Nintendo so much did it themselves that they like, you see this Pro Controller? We added extra buttons on it.
Yeah.
That's from us. You're like, what? You did that too?
Yeah.
Why y'all doing extra? Yeah. Why y'all doing extra? We'll do it ourselves. Don't even worry about it. Matter of fact, Digital Foundry, he's back. We got y'all. 1080p screen, 120 frames per second. We got this. We'll do it. So I think that was crazy. They went nuts on that. Showing off the third party stuff, and the slew of things. Jack just said it. Cyberpunk. I'm gonna have to double dip on that one. That's gonna get double dipped on. Vito was like, don't double dip on Hogwarts Legacy, but I may double dip on Hogwarts Legacy.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Mostly for the fact that, and I don't really see it being a problem, but I just want to make sure that we get whatever the sequel is for, that world. It may not be like Hogwarts Legacy. Well, it could be Hogwarts Legacy 2, but not in the vein of it's the sequel of whoever your character is. But we saw Elden Ring. I've been holding off on wanting to play that just because of all the talk that it was coming to Switch 2. So I know I'll be picking that up. But there's so many, like y'all said, there's so many games that's like coming out like day one. It's like my pockets wasn't built for that. Like I was ready, but understand even when you know what I'm saying, like on some Dragon Ball Z Saiyan Saga type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like we spent all this time training and we still wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was really good. The Dragon Drive, that's the game right there. I already know we're gonna play that. We're gonna play it. That's our new arms. That's for the team. You know what I'm saying? That's for the team. Wingin' It podcast. I just feel like we just that's just gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
More than likely.
You know, like I don't think none of us is built for basketball right now. You know what I'm saying? But we is now, you know. So yeah, I think that's gonna be a big one, especially with chat. And by the way, chat, that right there is something that's really big, and I'm surprised that even now we don't still hype it up as much as it is. I know everybody's like, oh, it's just Discord, blah, you know, with a camera, and you can put the camera, but like, do you realize how dope 007 is going to be now? Like, this is the game changer that Nintendo needed. And you got Soul Calibur now. GameCube games. Like you all in it now. You got F-Zero now. And like, and what me and Jack were saying yesterday is that like the one Vito asked a really good question. I think it's a very important question to ask. He said, now that you have chat with the camera, are you more likely to actually play games online? Because he was talking about distance, not necessarily people next to you. And so my consensus is that like, yes, like I would play a lot more online, especially with my friends, because like there's an actual like face to face type of connection, you know, like I don't do a whole lot of calling people or talking to people unless I have like a direct reason to call them. It's just not like a, you know, hey, how you doing? Let's just talk about life type of thing. Like I directly call you for a reason. But if we're FaceTiming, that's different because there's that actual visual connection now. So I think, Splatoon people are going to go nuts, right, Brownie?
That's gonna be crazy.
Splatoon people are going to go nuts because that was the one thing that I would hear a lot is like, oh, we don't have like a way to actually chat with each other, you know, and Splatoon I feel like they've done a lot to try and like make that happen without actually having a chat, you know, the developers like adding a like meow meow, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, come over here, you know? But now that they actually have a chat and you can play with your homies, pause. That like I think that is a perfect chat is like that's it. That's it right there. You don't even have to play with somebody else on the same game. Y'all can play different games and just be chatting it out and just be talking. And that's perfect for us as content creators on top of that. Because now that we sitting right here doing this, we can all just be playing the game and it just be, you know, that interaction.
Let me go on and warn y'all right now. Do not game chat me while I'm playing Metroid Prime or Legend of Zelda. Y'all probably gonna be cussed out. You'll probably be cussed out. Do not game chat me while I'm playing Metroid Prime or Legend of Zelda. I will more than likely cuss you out.
You're like, Jay, you ain't said nothing in a while. That's because I got it on mute.
The hell y'all want?
See what he gonna do? He's gonna mute, and we gonna see him on the screen like.
And he got the mouse.
You're gonna be cussing everything out with the mute on. You're just gonna see the pictures of his face.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you know with all of that the GameCube stuff, they went back into more third party stuff. You know, Sony Ponies was mad all through this whole thing. I think they was grumpy.
Why were they even watching though?
I don't know. It's like your worst enemy just sitting in the cut and like watching you receive an award. Like, man, I hate that fool. Like, he ain't even deserve that award.
Right.
I've been got that award. I've been had that.
I'm fine with it. The more you gotta hate on me, the less life you got. So I mean, that's on you.
Right. That's very true.
It is not that serious. So
overall, it was great. I'm glad Jack got the DK lifestyle, and kudos to him because we were really coming up with a way to do this whole Donkey Kong thing. Like as far as the swinging and having the different environments, if it was going to be more open world like you were in a giant jungle type deal, and they were like, nah, forget that. Like we just gonna we just gonna do this. Yeah,
the only thing I guess was 3D 2D. That's the only thing I guess that they would do. Either they would go full on with that to kind of alleviate doing two separate ones, but I never would have guessed in 1,000 years, especially this whole apparently Pauline twist. So I never would have guessed that.
So I think it's really cool that the game looks phenomenal. It definitely does look like the highlight of what we're going to have for the Switch to come. Air Riders. I was never big into Air Riders, but I definitely could see myself grabbing something like that as well too. But just like overall, I think it was a phenomenal. The reveal in itself was absolutely phenomenal. We went through and watched the Treehouse as well, and they showed us a little more. The whole Zelda. So I want to address this right now. To be honest with you, I want to address this right now because one thing I think that people don't take enough time to actually realize is how often Nintendo actually does listen. Like they may not say nothing, but they listen. You know what I'm saying? And why I'm saying that is because one of the things that Digital Foundry and everybody else was talking about, especially with like Breath of the Wild, is it chugs and the Lost Woods. Like the slowdown is really bad in the Lost Woods. And the first thing they did when they popped in Zelda was like, here's the intro. We just want to show you how beautiful it looks when you come out of the Resurrection Chamber. And boom, and you were like, okay, this is really pretty. And they're like, all right, and we're going to show you how fast the loading screen is by going to this new place. Boom, and they showed that. And then they showed you being in the Lost Woods first thing, like moving around, and they was like, look, see, it looks all smooth. But they weren't like, yeah, we know it's a little chopped. They were just like, just look, this is the perfect. And you're like, that's a perfect place for that. That's exactly why you went there. And then they tossed it over to Tears of the Kingdom. And another one that people don't realize is if you start off in the sky and you find a depths hole, if you skydive from that part and drop really quickly, the Switch actually has a loading screen before you get all the way to the bottom. It's a quick little thing. It's like a few seconds, maybe 5 or 10 seconds before you continue to start dropping. They started from the top and dropped all the way down. Was like, look at that. That was fast. I'm like, that's what's up. So I think they did a really great job with that. Like y'all all have alluded, as far as Mario Kart World Tour, there's some stuff, and we talked about it yesterday. Because there's like 84 characters, but I don't think you get all 84 characters when you start the game off. Which also kind of alludes to, I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit later, but kind of alludes to the reason why it's open world on top of that. But yeah, everything that they showed off for Mario Kart World Tour,
every time I get a chance, I watch more content of that game. And like right now I'm looking at it, and the fact that they're in the water and you had to fly over this the sinking whirlpool, and it's just so huge, and while dragons are swimming through the water, it's just nuts, man.
I just want to know what it looks like when you finally get up to Peach's castle. Like they stayed as far away from that as possible.
They did.
I just want to know where the Rainbow Road is. Why is it still going to be in there? And why is Nintendo going to be trolling us with it?
I got a feeling, because they showed, when they started off, they showed four possible things. I have a feeling that Rainbow Road doesn't show up until you beat that third area. Like as you're racing through, and then it's going to take you off to some side of one part of the maps, and then it's going like poof, 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 poof. You know what I'm saying? And then you're like, oh, okay, this is where. But I don't think it's going to be accessible like that. I think Rainbow Road is one of those like.
Rainbow Road has to be there because it's their trolling stage.
Yeah.
So it has to be.
Nah, see, what's gonna happen is once you unlock enough of that map, you're gonna get a depths like area in Mario Kart.
That will be nuts.
And you going to see the bottomless pit, and Rainbow Road gonna be right there.
Yeah.
Dang, the saving grace. If you fall off of this, you're done.
Yeah, basically.
You done fell into the abyss.
Yeah. So, Andre, what about your Switch 2 reveal thoughts?
I mean, my thoughts is basically the same thing as Jack. Like, I swear those daggone Switch 2 upgrade game cases is the bane of my existence.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah.
I was like, it literally says includes the Switch game plus Nintendo Switch 2 upgrade pack.
Yes.
1 + 1 = 2.
No, 1 + 1 = 5.
You got this thing, you add this thing, it makes this thing.
Yep.
Super straightforward. I'm sitting here, I don't know why people couldn't break it down like that. You take this thing, you add this thing, they make this thing.
Yeah,
it's the same thing that Sony did when they were doing their upgrades for games.
They did the same thing for PS3 to PS4 and PS4 to PS5. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing that Microsoft does with what they call it.
What do they call it?
Where you can play your games on the Xbox One or Series X.
Series X, yeah.
It's the same thing. It's just a different method of doing it.
Yeah.
And I get that it's confusing to people. I get that. It's confusing if you ignore reading what it says.
Mm-hmm.
That's the scary
part. I don't get how it's confusing if you read it.
Mm-hmm.
If you just read it, I don't get how it's confusing because it says it's there. And smart delivery. Thank you, JB.
Yeah, smart delivery.
Yeah. Okay.
It's there. You read it. It says it. It says you can buy, the game is included along with the upgrade pack. The upgrade pack is purchasable separately. I don't.
But see, we talked about this, and it was I know of content creators that typically double check themselves, but it was so heavy they just went with the premise, and that was the problem.
Didn't even think about it.
Nobody chose to read, and then even those that did read horribly, or they read another region. And it's like you don't live there. Like, why are you?
The wording isn't going to make sense to you. But even when I read the other regions, I still got the same result.
Right.
So if I get the same result and several other people get the same result,
comprehension.
I don't know what's up with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I try to explain it all many different ways.
And it's funny too because I even had a back and forth with somebody, and they kind of just like fell off because you can't argue that point. But like, we seen the piece of Jeff Keighley for whatever reason. I don't know how he got in there. They should have had people specifically for him. Send the FBI. Where the ninjas at? Send them. Do something. But he got in, and basically, he was one of the front runners to to lie about the whole situation. And so,
which you knew he was gonna do.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I'm like, bro, we don't like you being here and doing these kind of things because you lie about stuff. And then somebody was like, well, he didn't really lie. Really, he just kind of just came up with. He was just writing what everybody else was writing, and I'm like, that's a lie.
He started it,
but it's not really a lie because everybody else was saying it. He was just wrong about what he was saying.
He just started it.
He started it.
That by definition is a lie. Like if you're wrong about something, you lie. Like, it's not really a lie.
Let's correct that. If you're wrong about something and you know you're wrong about it.
Because that's what he was doing was that's not there's no gray area with him. You know exactly what he was doing.
Mm-hmm. And it's worse because you're an influencer. Like you're a person that people look to regardless if they really look to you for the news or not. They look to you for news. You know what I'm saying? The updates and all that other stuff. That's the whole reason why you're at the Switch 2 event in the first place, because you want to give out your opinion, because other people take your opinion. Not all of us, not the smart ones, take your opinion for facts. Like that's what you're there for. But you can't sit there and lie about stuff. And to Jack, like I think Jack said he already had known somebody. Kit and Krista, that's who it was.
Yeah.
And they kind of ran with it too, but they self-corrected themselves.
Yeah, they did. They went back. Yeah.
Oops, my bad. Like that.
Yeah.
We just kind of heard what everybody else was saying, and we took it as facts as well. Boom, here's the truth. Cool. Got no problem with that. But like the misinformation on this console is like I've never seen it to this degree. Yes, I have. Wii U. But I've never seen
Wii U was way worse than this.
Yeah. I didn't realize that we were like they was loading up the guns like this was
they were ready.
This kind of reminds me of something else in our political world when we had a politician and then we was like, whoo, dodge that one. And they was like, yeah, just wait, because we're going to come back at full force again. I can't say who, but I can just say that it really is very reminiscent of that. And then they're like, yeah, and we back, and we back, and we back.
Orange Ranger. The Orange Ranger.
So it's man, like it's wild that we, like I said, we have to go into full Avengers mode. You know what I'm saying? And just
actually, you don't have to do that because most of these people are just engagement farming.
I agree with that. Now, the only reason why I feel like it right, and like the reason why I feel like I have to do it is because if I consider myself as a content creator, then that's what I'm gonna do. Like that's something that, of course, not all content creators sign off on. But when I look at those big influencers like a Jeff Keighley, or even when you look at ones that are not really in the gaming space, they're more in the tech space, like a Marquise Brownlee and things of that nature. Like there's millions that just rest on their words. They won't go and fact check anything. They'll just rest on what they're saying. So when you do see, whether you like, for example, I think who was it that split up? Yeah, Dark Void mentioned Spawn Wave, right?
Yeah.
Even though Spawn Wave didn't like say, oh, these are $90, the fact that you just continue to harp on it and then say like maybe not, that's a problem. Yeah. So then, and then like I said, I don't even pay attention to Dreamcast guy anymore. Like that dude's a nut.
That dude, he's lame. He's a lame. He's
a nut. But that's where like it becomes very toxic within this space, because that was another correction I was making with somebody else. They were like, Nintendo fanboys this. I'm like, not everybody's a fan. They're just saying stupid stuff, and you just kind of categorize them as such. It's the same thing I said before. Like, I don't deem myself to be in the community of Tekken. I like Tekken, but I'll never fix my mouth to say I'm in the Tekken community space, because I don't involve myself that heavily with Tekken. Y'all told me Anna Williams was going to be on the game. I was like, oh, for real? Like, I didn't know. Like, I'm glad that y'all told me, because I got the information from y'all. But when it comes down to information like this, there are some innocent bystanders that get caught up in this, and they're like, oh man, I don't want to buy it anymore now. And it's like, no, pump the brakes, go check for yourself. And that was the part that bothered me the most. Nintendo couldn't have told you all this in a direct, otherwise that bad boy would have been like 2+ hours.
Yeah, and they weren't doing that.
They told you where to go and read. You went and read and still got it wrong. Like, I don't know how you do that, but it's reading comprehension, and it's wild. But I do love the fact that we saw Prime. Andre was on it, Shadow was on it, Sandstorm was on it. There are a few people that were like, stop spreading this, and the stupidness of, oh well, it's not 90 but 80 still bad. Okay, but that's oranges to apples. We're just saying that 90 is not the price.
But those same people just said that they were gonna buy GTA 6 for $100.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
that's me with that BS, man. Just miss me with it.
That's what confuses me. But I know you said we're getting on it later, because we're getting into it because it's easy to fall into it. So I'll leave it alone.
I didn't mean to drag everybody that direction. I was just saying boxes, and we slid off to everything else. We tried to go back into the game stuff.
It happens. But my quick thoughts. Look, they did what they had to do. I did not expect them to talk specs, even though everybody wanted them to talk specs. But I'm glad they went on and did it, got it on right away, because now we don't have to worry about Digital Foundry lying their asses.
Thank you. Oh, they still gonna try. They still gonna try.
They're gonna try, but it is what it is at this point. So all the tech enthusiasts, now are you happy? Are you happy? Are you happy, tech enthusiasts? Not people actually in IT. The tech enthusiasts that love to run their mouth.
Yeah. No. The tech enthusiasts. We gotta make sure we do this.
Tech enthusiasts. Ain't never wrote a line of code for a program in your life, but you know how games are made.
Sir, I thought you was going in a different direction. Because when you said a line of code, I thought
line of code.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing that too. Yeah, they're doing that too.
They're doing a line of code.
They're doing that too.
They're doing that nose candy. I didn't know
what. Which you is horrible.
But I've said this offline. Look, all these people coming over here doing all this, I will never buy it. They're gonna have it.
Y'all stupid.
Now, not only are they gonna have it, they're gonna be on game chat. They're gonna be online. I remember NSO is anti-consumer. They're gonna be online. They're gonna be playing me. They're gonna be playing me in Soul Calibur 2,
right?
While claiming they don't have a Switch.
It's so stupid. You guys are paying $20 a year for a button that won't work if you don't pay for it.
This is what's so crazy to me. I just seen this today. Yesterday, they were going so ham on how Dust Bloods was trash. It's trash. Online multiplayer, that's not real Dark Souls. It's trash. And then
what?
Yeah,
it's been in Dark Souls since it's been out.
I know, but you can't tell
me. We know.
Hey, look, listen. Wherever y'all get y'all paraphernalia, please put a warning out so we don't stumble upon it as well.
And then today it was that Nintendo was publishing the game outside of Japan. So them same cats who was like, it's trash, are now like, wait, so it's not, so it could be a possible timed exclusive? What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't do that. Stick to your guns. I don't want that because it's trash.
I would respect that more. I would respect it more.
Yeah. So, like I said, I lost a lot of respect for some people that I thought I would never say that about during the Switch's run, just because of the whole NSO situation. Then I'm like, bro, you sit up here and you making all these declarations on Twitter and everywhere else, but then you was in my group on Mario Kart during that tournament weekend, and you said NSO was anti-consumer, so how you playing?
Yeah, right, exactly.
So that's why I'm like, a lot of times you have, and I say that to say this, just be careful when engaging with some of these people, because some of these people are doing it just for engagement purposes. And I'm like, I'm not playing that game with these because they know what they're doing. So
I check the profile.
And the whole thing with like Jeff Keighley, and people are mad at iJustine. I'm like, dude,
that was weird. I didn't understand that.
I know why Nintendo invited her. She's iJustine. That's why they invited her.
Huge.
So
the same reason why they invited with Austin Reeves, the same way they invite Marquise Brownlee. All of them.
Yeah, they're huge. That's why they invited them. And there are a lot of people, a lot of content creators on YouTube that's hating on them. But I'm like, I know why y'all hate, because y'all ain't get invited.
Y'all ain't get invited.
That's why y'all mad. Y'all, this ain't got nothing to do with her. This is to do with y'all. Y'all mad because y'all ain't get invited.
Correct. There you go.
That's what that is.
Limited spaces. Sorry, you lost that one.
You lost that one. So I mean, like, I ain't mad. I'm like, I just think, of course, she should get a doggone invite. So should Black Nerd Comedy. He should get an invite. The people that are big are gonna get an invite.
They're gonna get one. Yeah.
Now, if you mad because you ain't getting no invite because you think you a super fan, okay. Okay. But that's why she got, and I don't know if iJustine game like that. I don't know, but she ain't do nothing to deserve the BS that was happening, because that was just she just gave her opinion.
That's it.
That's
like,
all
that
she
was
did.
We're talking about the screen in a brief clip, and then you find out later that she did actually a full discussion
review.
on everything. So at that point, the whole argument becomes moot because you just now made a fool of yourself talking about somebody from a brief clip.
But I don't understand though. Like, she wasn't the only one that did it. So why did she get targeted?
Because, well, I know there was a group of it was a number of content creators that targeted her. That's why I said that it's got to be because of the whole jealousy thing. Because I'm like, bruh, it's iJustine. Of course they were going to invite her. Like, why wouldn't they? Like,
hasn't she been to plenty of Nintendo events?
Yes, she has. Yeah, she has.
Yeah, she even did. Because I think she's actually done like the Steam Deck stuff too. Like,
she did that.
If it's tech related, they do it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm about to say
if
it's tech related, they do it.
Yeah, her, Marquise Brownlee, and somebody else did ROG Ally.
They Austin Evans did his too. Yeah. So I'm like, dude, that's who they go get. So because they have the millions of followers to millions.
Yeah. So if you mad because she there and you at home, okay, you got 10,000 followers.
At that point, make yourself a more presentable, more desirable product.
There you go.
And then you might get, or just do the creator thing, and you might get it. I don't know what to tell you. Now, as far as Treehouse Live is concerned, Metroid Prime Day 1, Donkey Kong Bonanza Day 1.
Yes, sir.
Well, y'all already know GameCube. Once I saw GameCube NSO, I just didn't get my GameCube controller. Day 1.
So are you going the Nintendo route or are you going the Power A route?
I'm going Nintendo route.
Okay.
Street Fighter 6, because I'm glad I held out. I'm glad I held out because Capcom, y'all got me with these damn Amiibo. I'm getting them. I'm getting them.
For me, if this was substituted with either Tekken or Mortal Kombat, I would have done it day 1. Yeah. I bought Street Fighter 6 for the PS5. I just can't get into Street Fighter. But I
like the demo. I did like the demo. When I played the demo, I did enjoy it. And I was gonna get it, but every time I was gonna buy it on sale, something happened. And I was like, okay, I can't get it. I got real life.
Was like, no, Jay, this is not for you.
No, it was like real life stuff was happening. I'm like, God dang it. So
Brownie, my Amiibo might come with either the Fatal Fury or King of Fighters. I don't think.
Yeah.
Even though her and Terry are in there.
Yeah, and now I will say, I did when I saw the Kimberly Amiibo. I'm like, damn, Twin Tails is gonna be fire when they actually do one.
Yep.
Twin Tails is gonna be fire when they actually do a Twin Tails.
Speaking of fighters in Amiibo, what are the chances that I don't think they'll do like a region exclusive, but of us getting a Ronaldo Amiibo now that he's in Fatal Fury?
That would
be interesting. But you know, a lot of people going to complain about it.
Well, they complained about him. They complain about him and the DJ being in there. I'm like, dude, who cares?
I get one person. I get one real person, but I don't even know who the DJ dude is.
I don't know who the DJ is. I know who Cristiano Ronaldo is.
I knew who Ronaldo was. I didn't know who he was. Like, who is this?
I'm like, I wasn't mad about that. Plus, his moveset is actually funny to me.
Yeah.
You know,
wait, Ronaldo is in the game?
Yes, Cristiano Ronaldo is in the game.
He's in City of the Wolves.
Yeah. Oh, they even gave his signature.
Really?
So I'm like, I love that. But I mean, like, once again, Treehouse Live knocked it out of the park with me adding to my day 1 list. That
hurt so bad. It hurt. Part of me wish I didn't watch it, but it hurt so bad.
I mean, I think that's the point. Because once again, the reason why Nintendo used to win all those E3s was because of Treehouse Live.
Yeah.
Because everybody else couldn't do that. All they could do was show you this cinematic.
Ooh,
Nintendo showed you what the game looked like.
So now that you mention that, we all know we have Loser Keeley's award show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From what we saw, Donkey Kong, Mario Kart World, Metroid Prime 4.
All family category.
All
category.
All family.
All family.
I don't know how Metroid is supposed to fit in the family game, but it for sure is going to be in that family category.
And they're gonna pick the weakest one to be for game of the year so that it could lose.
Because let's be honest, unless Wolverine drops this year,
it's not dropping.
Which I doubt.
GTA 6 should if it don't get pushed. Nintendo kind of has it.
No, they don't.
I get what you're saying.
They have the family. They have family category. We don't give them family category. We took it from Legend. We don't give them family category.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah, Triple M, yeah, like best friend is family because they haven't explained what family means.
Chronicles X is still not going to show up.
Yeah, Metroid Prime 6, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is going to be family because Silex is in it, so they're going to use that to connect them as family.
I mean, real talk. To be honest with you, best ongoing game should be Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yeah, really should. But that don't
count. Right.
This Jeff Keeler.
And then
ongoing. It's not ongoing.
Metal Mint. So I'm interested too because if EA and 2K jump on board with Amiibo, like,
oh boy, it's on the popping knee.
If you mean the thing that I said years ago?
If we talk about money. Yeah. A Curry and a LeBron Amiibo.
It's over. It's over.
A Roman Reigns, Jade Cargill Amiibo.
I'll get the Jade Cargill for personal reasons.
Said this years ago. I said this during the Wii U era.
Mm-hmm.
I have a video dedicated to it.
Yeah,
that would be
because I remember that video because you talked about Capcom too. Because they're like,
I talked about Capcom, I talked about 2K, I talked about EA.
Yeah,
all of them. And I said because the Yacht Club put out the Shovel Knight. I said, y'all know how much money y'all are missing out on.
Yeah. Oh, Triple M Master Chief with that Halo.
Oh man, that would sell out.
I expect it.
You'd have to get the Master Chief one, then they'd have to do one for Doom Guy, and you'd have to get that next to Samus. Line them all up.
No. Doom Guy is next to Isabel.
Yeah.
No, Isabel would be there on the side with the. She'd be there on the side with them.
Mm-hmm.
Then put the villager behind one of them with the axe standing back.
Yeah,
like he was on Smash.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Villager, like,
bro. Saying that makes me want a new Splatterhouse.
So bad. But yeah, the Amiibo situation that would prove like that would be hilariously awesome. Because once again, like if you're talking 2K, like WWE and NBA, you're not gonna do one for every person. You're not doing that. Mm-hmm. So you're not gonna do that. You're just gonna do one for the fan favorites.
Oh, they'll probably do cards because they're cheap. Yeah, but
it's cheap. But like when I'm talking about the actual
oh yeah,
Amiibo, yeah, you'll probably get a Kobe, you'll probably get a Michael Jordan, a Magic Johnson, but other than that, you probably
that'd be nuts because there's people that still collect bobbleheads and everything like that. So the fact that you can just add an Amiibo, now I don't know what they would do, but that would be.
They could just operate as artificial intelligence, like you pop them in and they play like the player does in the game.
Well, I think 2K has to figure that part out first before they can do that. So it's like,
if they can do it, we'll see.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing too. Yeah, DK didn't have one.
We know of.
Yeah.
Because remember when Odyssey first got revealed, they didn't show them wedding ones until like
you're right.
Right before the release. So they ain't show them yet. They probably still working on them because I'm pretty sure they're gonna have Donkey Kong in the overalls. Yeah, they're probably gonna have one of the baddies or whatever, and then they're probably gonna have like when they do because you still got a few months. So
they may have him in the tie because they showed that off as well. So
the tie, So
I'm not doing this Amiibo thing again, man. I'm not.
You are. Yeah,
I'm not going on this hunt again. I'm not.
Yes, you are. You are going to do it. You are going to do it.
I used to walk it like when I used to walk into GameStops and I'm looking. I'm like, hey, what's that in the back? Oh, that's that Amiibo. Give it him. Because
give it up.
Hey, come up off of that. Off of that.
And now they go treat you like the drug lords. Like, oh, hey Jack, how you doing? It's been a long time. You're like, I'm just here to pick up this game. Oh, okay. You know, Did you see anything else that you might want? I'm just there. This. I didn't even ask about that. This right here. Yeah, let me show you.
Hey, this that new Donkey Kong one, bro. We knew
remember?
Y'all don't play for RJ, you wrong for that too. We're not gonna do this because y'all not gonna keep trying to use my vices against me.
This is the last time. You got the handshaking.
Jack, if I'm getting all 4 of them new champion Amiibos, you getting that Donkey Kong Amiibo.
I'm not getting it because there's not going to be one.
Hey, look,
just Donkey Kong. Last time.
We got Donkey Kong back here. Look, there's a Cranky Kong one too. You want that?
They just going to reprint the Skylander one. We're not doing that.
Like, just one last time. No more. This is the last time. Okay, sure, bud. Sure.
It's the last. You sure it's the last? Do you want it? You sure?
All right. Okay. Did you want me to put you down for the pre-order for the Smash version?
Hey, stop trying to diddy me. That's no. Talking all soft. No, we're not doing this.
They're like, I got the oil right here.
Right. Go ahead and slide into this Amiibo. I'm not doing this, y'all, man. I'm already giving you $70. Leave me alone.
Right.
Yeah,
or in Twitter terms, I'm paying 80 because of taxes, so
right.
We never worried about that before because different states have different taxes. So
Brownie, yes. Age of Imprisonment does have the new champion Amiibos.
That's disgusting. Yeah.
That is beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
That's
beautiful. They're going right in my collection too.
Yeah.
This horde. His collection.
Hey, look, I got my own Zelda Amiibo shelf. It's just for Zelda.
See the horde.
You know what? What the Switch 2 had shown me was I need to get my feet together and start taking pictures. That's all it showed me. Because I need a second income. Excuse me, in my case, third. I need a third.
As soon as they flash that Urbosa with the mask, you're like, damn, she got the mask on.
Man.
She got the mask on this time.
All right. Yeah.
No, but okay, so I think you guys all know what games we're pretty much interested in. I will say I do need to go watch the what is it, Dragon Drive Treehouse. I did not see that one. And I need to watch the Welcome Tour one because I'm actually interested in the Welcome Tour one, even though it's not a
good
game.
No, that one's good. That one's good.
I need to watch those two. But I did enjoy what they showed. I know it's not everything because I'm pretty sure with the amount of time they had and just knowing how they are now, I don't think y'all realize how many games we got. Like a month.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Ridiculous.
And we didn't even get to the end of the year. We got a couple. We got Nintendo titles, but I don't think we got a whole slew of third-party games.
I would be highly surprised if Ninja Gaiden 4 does not come to the Switch 2. I would be highly surprised.
Well, being that Platinum's working on it too, that's almost a lot.
Highly surprised. I would be highly surprised if Ninja Gaiden Black 2 don't come. To be fair, in all fairness, so I think the only thing that I am worried about is are we going to get a whole bunch of older games because of reasons?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I don't want to see Soul Calibur 6. Just do another Soul Calibur. I don't want to see like some of these games. I just don't want to see.
Yeah, I mean it's going to happen, but I get it. Kakarot will be out again because they have the Daima DLC.
That's right.
So they'll get an upgrade with that.
Yeah, they ain't getting no more money out of me. I'm sorry, they not getting enough.
I already paid for the pre-order. It ain't happening.
Hopefully that'll mean that Scarlet Nexus will show up.
Yeah. And Metaphor. All these games.
Well, Metaphor was on that. Wasn't Metaphor was on that leaked list? Elden Ring and the other ones. It was on that list. So
I think the other reason why I didn't show up, actually, there's two things I gotta talk about. But I think the other reason why I didn't show up is because by the time the Switch 2 comes out, that's showcase season. So I feel like they didn't want to throw everything out there mostly because of that. Because by the time you get to the Switch, they're gonna be like, all right, so you got your starter pack. Here's more of the stuff that you're going to have come this fall and towards the end, because we didn't get, while we got a lot of, the Metroid Prime, the Pokemon ZA, we didn't get a whole heck of a lot as far as like the actual story, like what's this about for Prime. That wasn't talked about, and we didn't. More specifically, we didn't even get a release date. So
I think we get another direct for that.
Probably.
I think that might come. I think that might show up just a little bit. Into
think it's gonna be fall. Think it's gonna be like December.
I do, because I think Prime may be September, or these two are interchangeable. Prime may be September and ZA may be October, or ZA is September and Prime is October. And then I still think we have a holiday title, and I don't want to say that's Kirby Air Ride, because I think that's actually going to be more in August. Actually, it very well could be Pokemon. It could.
Doesn't Pokemon usually do November?
Yep.
As of lately, they do whenever they feel like.
Yeah, whenever they feel like.
And more specifically, the Legends side. Legends came out in January. So I guess it's really dependent on that. But I mean, you very well could be right, because Pokemon, especially a Pokemon like this, I feel like this is really attractive. So I think that could have something to do with it for being a drop. But
thank you, Sertan. Yeah, Hyrule Warriors is this winter. That's what they.
That's right. Yeah, they did say that.
Winter. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is this winter.
Okay, so that's the game.
What? That's probably going to be that Pokemon's probably going to be November or October then.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be one of those.
That's a lot of stuff falling into each other. Goodness gracious.
Well, I think that what they're gonna do is it's gonna be a month.
One game a month. Yeah.
One game a month. But I think like the third party stuff is gonna be like sprinkled in there. That's why I'm like, I would be surprised. That's why I said I would be surprised if Ninja Gaiden 4 don't drop when everything else drop.
Yeah.
I would be surprised. Like I'm surprised they ain't said nothing about Obscure 33, because I think that's probably gonna wind up coming.
Whoever lands in September, oh man, that's gonna be a hard month. I'm gonna be honest with you. It like one game that we didn't talk about that lands in September, and when I saw it, I guarantee you, 100% of the people all thought the same thing for maybe the first couple shots, and was like, "Wait a minute, this can't be that." Is Damon X?
The second one, the sequel.
That one drops in September. I think September 6th or September the 9th or something like that.
Yeah.
That looked like a bad boy. That looked like that's doing something. And I said this on the podcast too. It's faster. It's faster than any of the armor cores. It's faster than even Daemon X Machina, and not in frames, just speed alone, just the actual pacing of it. Just looks like there's a whole lot of movement that we haven't seen in any of those games.
It looks like, and to be fair, it looks like they actually beefed up the story. Like although I do like the first Daemon X Machina, let's be real, that story was all over the place.
It was.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. The way they figure it out.
So I mean, it would be. This looks like a more focused story. So I think I'll probably be more inclined to play this one. Better than the first one, because the first one, while it was fun, it was just like, okay, dude. After a while, I was just like, I don't know what's happening, and I can't.
I stopped caring about the the I'm just like, I'm here for just getting new weapons and
hopefully see that this works. Yeah, so that one looked like okay, and I know people are happy because it's a multi-platform. I'm like, hey, cool for y'all. Please support it so we can get more.
Right.
So look, I'm tired of seeing like other people like this should come to every system. I'm like, okay, then why aren't you buying it?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
They'd be like, haha, you ain't get this exclusive. It showed up on your direct, but you ain't getting this as exclusive. Okay, good. So buy it too.
So buy it, yes. So we can get more. Buy it, please. I know how good this game is. Buy it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, I ain't gonna buy that. I'm gonna emulate it.
Yeah. We already heard tons of that. It's like no one cares.
If you broke, just say that. You know
so I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this because I don't think anybody really thinks about it. But if you decide to pirate the thing that you say you're not going to buy, you then add value to that thing and then allow the company to either sue or get reimbursed through taxes for the value of that thing that you said isn't that valuable. So when you steal it, you give it value.
And on top of that, I'm not gonna feel any kind of empathy for you when you get slapped with $1 million fine.
But especially since they promote, like
I'm about to say you're promoting.
You're promoting it online with your personal accounts.
Because you think that because you put an anime character that's enough to shield you from that.
Yep.
I think that just because they on the VPN, they gonna be safe. I keep saying,
oh, dude, that's always
VPNs will sell you out ASAP if they are going to get sued over you.
Yeah, ask the Pirate Bay guys that.
Yeah, it's a reason why.
There's a reason why they kept jumping. Why they kept jumping countries.
Yeah,
there was a reason. Like, dude, ain't nobody trying to get hit.
It's weird, but I will say, I mean, I'm thoroughly like I'm ready for this console. There's games that I had no interest in until either that mouse mode or the portability aspect of it. Like I said, is one of those conversation pieces that I think people understand it. It's just they don't want to understand it because they have this undying loyalty to their box or their purchase. But I've said before, some people that's all they've known, because I do know people that all they've known is Sony. So for them to switch is kind of like trying to tell an Apple user to switch over to Android. Those I'm like, okay, it is what it is. But then
I would say don't switch though. You ain't nobody making you do that.
Nobody's making you do it. And then you have those that they feel threatened because of buyer's remorse. Because I saw the one comment of like, now I don't feel bad about my Steam Deck purchase. I'm like, but you felt bad before? Like you had to wait until the Switch 2 announcement.
Oh man, I gotta Switch 2 is coming. I feel bad. Oh man,
that lets me know you're not using it like you thought you was going to use it. But it's one of those things of like we all know people are just on here talking, and this thing is going to sell. How it continues is totally up to Nintendo and how the games get released and spread out. Because like we've said before, you don't want to bust your load like all up front. You know, I think we saw in the comments that 3D Mario probably ain't gonna be until next year,
which is good because
that means that you got content. So it's like, all right, cool, probably next year. If it does happen, I'm concerned about anything going up against Grand Theft Auto. If it does happen this year for real, you know, but I do look at games like Path of Goddess. Like I've never showed interest in that game, and then when I saw it, I'm like, oh, okay. Didn't see that coming as day one, but yeah, I might give this a shot. So I mean, there's a lot of games that, you know, most people say, okay, well, why would this system make you look into games that you otherwise wouldn't play? And this is what I said on the podcast last night. Certain genres I don't like playing on TV. Like I like playing on handheld because I have to do it sparingly. Like from a parent standpoint, Carline, you're in Carline for damn near 2 hours. Like I feel like that's enough time to sit down and just BT yourself in the car by yourself while you're waiting on your kid to pick up your kids while you're getting roasted in the car. So it's very helpful that I show up at Carline by 2:30 and I don't get my kids until 3:30. So I can play whatever I'm playing and then come home and dock it. And that's also a benefit. You know, Xenoblade so far I've been playing it majority handheld, solely because, you know, if I'm with my wife and my baby in the room, I can play it. I don't have another dock. So it's something that I can do. So that's why, you know, certain games that I haven't paid attention to that are currently out is something that would get my money now. Is not because of, oh, well, you know, you're just buying it just because, like, no, just certain things just don't fit. I've said this 10 times over. Like Crash didn't feel good to me on Xbox. I've always associated it with PlayStation. Controllers is a big thing for me. How they feel, how they're laid out makes a big difference on how I play games. It's a similar, like when people talk about you can emulate 3DS, but it's nothing similar to you playing it on an actual 3DS. There's a huge difference. So I don't mind the pricing. I'm at Fast Fusion. I mean, Shannon, this is what, the third console? They done showed up launch day.
Yep.
Now it's like, okay, and they show out every time. So it's a lot of games here, and I've said before, like my rule of thumb is I gotta have 5. I gotta have 5 games that I plan to pick up immediately, not what they promised me later down the line. Because guess what, Silk Song shows you don't buy stuff in preparation for something else, because that game still ain't out. But it's one of those things of there's 5 games already, if not more, that I'm prepared to purchase with this device. And then even that also counts in the upgrades, because Jamboree, me and my kids. Same thing with Kirby. Like Jay told me about Kirby, I wasn't even gonna touch it. And then whenever I played the older Kirby's, I was like, ooh, I gotta put a little bit more respect on Kirby's name. And I went back, and then now I gotta get Forgotten Land. And for those of you with Switch 2 edition, just go get the game used for $30 and then pay the $20 upgrade. It's $50.
Right.
Or if
right.
that unit so plus expense rate, you ain't gotta worry about it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. See, that's another thing. They should have. That was one thing I think they should have done. Yep. Has been more vocal about what games was going to get that boost and the upgrade for free if you had NSO. And now that I'm saying it out loud, I don't know how that's going to translate, because if you fall out of NSO, does that mean you no longer get that Switch upgrade?
Somebody asked that same question, and you probably don't. You probably just go back to the regular game.
If it's tied to your Nintendo Switch Online account, especially the expansion pack, I'm pretty sure is if you drop the pack, it drops off your game.
So the bump is actually tied to software and not tied to hardware.
Gotta be.
There's a portion of, because the Switch 2 emulates the Switch 1 games when you play it on there, so they all get a pseudo boost anyway.
Right.
It's just not going to be the same boost that you get when you have the upgrade packs for the game.
Right.
Okay.
Because you're still playing the Switch 1 game, so it's not like it's on the cartridge.
Right. Yeah, that's true. So so it has to be software. Yeah. So that was one oddly, and that's probably, now that I'm thinking about it too, probably why they didn't say that. But I feel like it's easier to damage control than by not saying outright, like, if you are a Nintendo, an NSO online user, these upgrades, because those upgrades are already, the DLC portions are already there for NSO users, and they still show it when they were showing off the going from the GameCube, or going from Nintendo, the NES, the Super NES, and the N64. They even showed the little pieces of Splatoon having it, Mario Kart 8 still in that corner, and then they showed you the GameCube. So they're still applicable. So it's just, it was just weird that they didn't do it that way.
The only thing I thought about, and it came in my head when you said it. The only justification I would give as to why they wouldn't mention it is because it's not fully ironed out. Because of the simple fact that if I'm looking at what they mentioned with NSO, because while I've heard on Treehouse Live, they said all games that have the Switch upgrade, if you're an NSO expansion pack member, you would get it. But then if you look at the site, it only mentions Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. But then also too, you factor in Legends and both Zelda games are the only ones that are like graphic enhancements and frame rate enhancements. But then of course, like Jamboree and Kirby have actual additional content. Now, when you look at the other games that they mentioned, like Arms 2 and the Echoes of Wisdom, those are free upgrades. So I was like, what's differing between the two? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is this free, but then these are not free? And the one thing I looked at was that list of games that they mentioned that are having issues either booting up, or they have issues when you're playing them that they're resolving right now because of emulation. Something tells me there's something they're still ironing out. And then we'll get like an actual full list when we get closer to the release, because this is emulation. It's not like, okay, it's just a enhanced Nintendo Switch. This was built from the ground up with Nintendo Switch emulation. So in order for you to say, here's the list of games, that means you got everything fixed. And they've already expressed there's a list of games that either don't start or they start with issues, and that they'll probably have ironed out by the time the system releases. And I got a feeling these Switch 1 games that are getting these upgrade packs are in that same boat. I just have this strong feeling that that's the case, why they haven't been upfront with us about that yet, because they can't just say, oh, all your Switch 1 games get these free upgrades. They only mention a handful of them. Because we all know, we heard about the rumor with Xenoblade, right? Xenoblade wasn't up on that list.
Nope.
So that's where it was kind of weird. And then even for the ones like ARMS, what upgrade does ARMS need? Is it just a resolution thing? Because frame rate wise, it was good.
Yep.
So I don't know. I think that's some new emulation.
Well, if Digital Foundry tells you, they're probably gonna say like, no, it wasn't. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's neither here nor there. As far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This is gonna be a fun. What we got? Month? 2 months. It's gonna be a fun 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about to be a fun 2 months.
Because we're finna get more misinformation.
Oh,
a lot of directs.
Yeah. That's right. We do have more directs. Yeah, that's true.
And listen, stop with the whole in the chat for the directs and the Treehouses, man, with the whole price business. Yeah. That's ridiculous. And I'm not even saying that like I necessarily agree with the price. I understand the price.
Me too.
But this is one of those situations where, especially so, you probably ain't gonna win. Like,
no, you're not gonna win this.
You're not gonna win.
You're not gonna win this one. And the sad thing about it is, there's two SKUs. One's $449, one's $499. $699 and $599 are more than $449 and $499.
Right.
You can't say drop the price when the competition, they're already lower than the competition anyway.
There you go.
Right.
So now whether you want to believe Sony and Microsoft competition, that's neither here nor there. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But the problem is you got people who they think that because I am a fan, you do what I say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that don't work like that. Some of these people would never run a business.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And you kind of miss me. You kind of miss me with the, like you said, Jay, you kind of miss me with the, like, oh, drop the price of Mario Kart because it's $80. Don't get the $450 bundle then. But I want Mario Kart. Okay, so we're charging you $50 for it. But I want it physical. Okay, well you ain't getting that. So and to play into that, it's like, oh, I want it physical, but we're giving it to you even cheaper than what we would give it to you, even if it was separate digital. So what are you complaining about?
What are you complaining about?
You know you're going to play that game all the time anyway. Are you going to sell the game? Were you planning on selling the game at some point in time? I don't think you were, because everybody that I know who has Mario Kart on the Switch has not sold it because you still playing it.
Yeah. And that Mario Kart World, that looks crazy. That looks crazy. So I hate that people do that, but a lot of people do stuff just so they can feel like they're a part of something.
There you go.
So I'm like, y'all doing that. One, you make yourself look goofy. Two, like I said, they're still cheaper than the competition that they're up against. Because the competition stuff, and we already know what Sony finna do with this PS6. Because if them people went and bought that PS5 Pro, that PS6 finna be especially if these tariffs don't, if this situation with the tariffs don't get fixed. I know a lot of people that love to say they're gonna buy every new vid card and sound card to come out. I hope you already did it.
Yeah, boy, it's about to get ugly.
And you know, Sony never prices their stuff lower than the previous generation.
No, they don't.
At MSRP. So what do you? And I'm not even talking about the original system. I'm talking about whatever the mid-gen system is.
Yeah,
they don't price it lower than that. So what, honestly, do you think they're gonna sell the next PlayStation as? And they're gonna, and it's funny because they're gonna probably mix it like this is the first hybrid Sony console as a hybrid PC. Y'all been PC in it for a while now. Don't try and lie to me. Y'all been trying to PC it since the PS4. Don't try and play. But that's exactly what they're gonna do. Is like this is the ultra mega. You've never seen anything this powerful before. The PS6, $1,000. Why? Because it's a PC now. We've moved into the PC space. Nah, you didn't. Y'all
been or at least y'all been trying to be there.
Yeah. Right. You've been talking about SSDs. I'm pretty sure the consoles didn't have that before you claimed it.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you don't make yourself look good. And that was just tacky and in poor taste. So, and it is what it is. And the other thing too is you knew this was coming. So you could have put money aside. If you wanted it, you could have put money aside.
Well, I mean, based off of the nonsense we've been going back and forth, most people feel like this just happened overnight. It's like, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
It's just, but that goes to show that most people just genuinely don't pay attention until it shows up in their backyard. And this gaming is their backyard. So it's like when people were telling you, even Doc Trey, because that's one person I forgot to mention, like he's been doing a fantastic job. And he mentioned years ago, like, hey, dude's been talking about this for a minute. So if he get in the office, you better be prepared. Yeah, because he's probably gonna pull this stunt. So
he's pulling it.
Whether it's a negotiation tactic or not is still a thing. So at the end of the day, we don't know what is going to cost at the end because Nintendo tried to avoid it by going to Vietnam. But then Vietnam just got hit stupid hard. So it's one of those things to where we'll just see how it goes. Like I've told most people, at the end of the day, this is a luxury. It's not something that is, it's a privilege to have. So while most of them have been doing this since we were younger, I mean, that's what comes with adulthood. The same thing with groceries. I would love to eat, but hey, I gotta now go from $1.29 to damn $6 for eggs. Like it's life, dude. And I'm not.
He hit Nam on purpose. I think as much as y'all want to pretend like even the president probably wasn't watching this direct and all the stuff that's going around there. I'm telling you this because how quickly it came up. Like out of all the countries that all the countries that he feels like he should hit with tariffs, Nam came way too quickly for it to be just a coincidence.
I think like there was a couple other corporations that was trying to get around it, and when he realized it, that's when
where y'all going? Where y'all going? Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I mean, look, and look, everybody know everybody ain't balling. Some of us are on a budget, so that's what I'm saying. You knew this was coming. So if you were interested in it, you should have been putting money to the side. I did. I mean, I didn't expect them to do a GameCube controller, which I'm gonna have to get. But I mean, I didn't expect it. And I'm gonna have to get me a Switch Pro controller because I prefer the Pro controller to the grips. I just the Pro controller feels better in my hand than the grips do.
Yeah,
that's just me. So,
well, I might see how the grips feel first.
I'm
how much bigger they are now.
But they showed the paddles, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't like clickable sticks. So
the whatchamacallit has paddles too. The grip has it. The grip has the GLNGR. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Because I know the originals they didn't. So but yeah, I am on a budget, but I knew this was coming, so I started putting money to the side.
Yeah,
that's what you do when you're an adult and you ain't got it like that. So
I think out of all the countries, and I could be wrong, Xbox would be the only one that's unaffected because it's from America. Which would give them a huge leverage, but they ain't gonna do nothing with it because they ain't doing nothing with it now. So
not doing with it now. So.
And then even on like the Vietnam front, I mean, they've been talking about trying to get the negotiations like to get it down to zero. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, I put this in the same category as the whole TikTok situation. Like he was like, I'll pull it. He pulled it, and then within like a week, it was back. Once they got the negotiations taken care of,
Well, that and the fact that he was losing, he wanted to keep his stuff going too.
Yeah, exactly.
He's heavy on social media, dude.
He really is.
So he was losing stuff too. So he's like, I told y'all all that, but hey man, hurry this up.
So I feel like we'll probably get our pre-order stuff by like the end of the month, and they'll tell us when we can pre-order, and then now I got to rush to freaking GameStop.
Yeah, that's right.
You get the stuff traded in, so that way I'm good to go. Because right now, based off of what GameStop is offering, my Xbox and my Switch will get everything wiped out, to where I don't have to spend a red cent. But
so the question is, and we haven't gotten a solidified answer, but for the Nintendo members, is that still a thing tomorrow, or is that like a no-go? We're gonna let you know later.
Well, that's what the email was for. Like, that's why when you went on the site, they told you to put your email in and you'll be notified. So I guess we just got to wait and see what their email says.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
they were verifying, because they were verifying if you really used your NSO account and what pillar you was at. Because some people gonna be in there trying to bot that thing out, and nah.
Yeah, because I definitely made sure that I signed up, and I definitely took tomorrow off just so I can make sure I get one. And
I was telling Sandstorm that I don't think I would possibly qualify, because I've had NSO since the beginning, but then I switched over to family, and this is one thing I wish they would fix. If you're in, like, I was in the family one that I had, but I couldn't stop it to go to the expansion. Like, I had to wait for the time to lapse in order for me to convert over to the other one. Man, it was kind of weird. So I have a lapse time in there before I jump back on. So now if you look at my timing, it looks like I've been there for 7+ years, but I had a lapse. So I don't know if they would count that or not.
Well, I think as long as you have the appropriate year number, I think it's going to be fine. Because like mine should be fine, because I did switch to family. But I switched to family like 5 years ago. So you should be fine, because it tells you every time you log in on when you go to the thing. So,
and that's what I'm counting on, because mine does have quite a few years on there. So I'm like, all right, cool, I should be good. But like I said, the only reason why it lapsed is because you can't switch over.
Yeah,
like they make the time lapse before you can jump over to something different. And I was like, that's kind of weird. If I want to switch, just let me switch.
Yeah. Which I think that's probably going to be fixed with the whatever changes they made to eShop and all of that.
Right. So we'll see. But I'm there day one for sure, and I'm looking forward to playing this. I know my kids are looking forward to it. I'm just not doubling up on Joy-Cons this time around. I'm gonna hold out on double up on Joy-Con. So I'll be playing the wheelchair game by myself, and we're gonna be switching, taking turns, because ain't gonna be 2 rollers up in. Nope.
Listen, we only got one basketball, one wheelchair. Ain't nobody else playing until I'm done.
Hey, look, we gonna move in unison. You move to the left, I move right. Let's get this going.
Teamwork.
Make the dream work, baby. Let's go.
I don't think I don't think I'm doubling up on Joy-Cons either. Because I think I did buy a set for my niece for her birthday one of them years, because she wanted one. She wanted one of the special colors that came out. So I did that, but I'm not doing that this time around.
And that would hurt my spirit too if, like, let's say a couple months in, they like, here's the white one. I'm like, you
mother.
That's one thing I hate, man.
You think we still get the themes? I just thought about that.
It'll probably be, but
I don't think Donkey Kong obviously will get a theme. Ooh, maybe, but I don't think Donkey Kong will get a theme because it's way too close. But I feel like like maybe
Mario
ZA might get one. Oh, Mario might
be the first one.
Pokemon is probably gonna get a whole Switch too, knowing them. They'll probably get a whole.
But they only did the lights, though, right?
With
no, they did the
Pikachu insignia.
Yeah,
they did
the
best one, the one with all the graffiti on it. That one was
yeah.
And then, like, I'm pretty sure Mario and Zelda get one, especially Zelda, since that movie's supposed to be coming out in 2027.
Ooh,
so I'm pretty sure they'll have their own Pro Controller, Joy-Cons, and Switch too. So whatever that next one's going to be, because they're supposedly been working on it for 2 years. So we'll find out, when that happens. But yeah, for me personally, I'm just going to ignore most of the stuff coming out of people's mouth on Twitter, because most of the people that be doing the fake outrage, I already blocked them anyway. So I'm not even going to be worried about them. So,
that's a lot of blocking.
Yeah, that's what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to playing it. I will say this is going to be funny, because I know people are going to be talking about battery life. If you run that thing in 4K, you deserve to not have 3 hours of battery life. You deserve it.
But I don't. That's another thing. Like, what was the point of making that post? Because the original Switch is the same battery life for that. And then you go and the Steam Deck it doesn't. It's 800p screen. It doesn't have. Y'all got to be smarter than this. I was like, what were y'all expecting? More power and more battery life?
The thing is, when they especially when they showed it in there, like they show it at 1080. You can go to 1080, 1440, 2160. And
1440 widescreen. Yeah, I'm all over that.
If you are playing that thing in handheld mode and you decide to put it in 4K, it's not gonna last long. Use your phone and watch a YouTube video in 4K and watch how fast your battery die. I don't care if it's a brand new phone. It could be the iPhone 16. Put that thing in 4K, watch a YouTube video, and I promise you'll have 25 to 50% less battery by the time that video is finished. Perfect example. Watch the Nintendo Direct video on your phone in 4K.
Right.
Tell me how long your battery lasts.
Keep it plugged in now. Don't
plug it in. I want you to know 2 things. The back of the phone gonna get hot, and how much battery life you got left.
And here's another thing. I don't know why people pretend like it must be just with Nintendo, because I feel like with every other device, like we talk about accessories all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is the first thing that we talk about. Oh, I already know what I'm going to get for this. I already know what I'm going to get for this. And Genki showed off the whole trailer right after that, right? So, like, there was a battery pack that, like, came with the case, or well, it didn't come with the case, but that had the case on it, and then it magnetically stuck to the back of the case itself. And I'm like, why wouldn't you just buy that? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna buy the system, why wouldn't you just? Oh, the system's already $450. I gotta spend extra money just so I can have. You do that with everything. Everything in life, that's what you do. You buy extra for the thing that you own. Like, you buy a new TV, you gotta buy the 4K. You gotta buy the 4K Blu-ray player with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you buy a car, you gotta get the car accessories with it. You buy a new phone, you got to get the cases and all that stuff. So why are we acting like now that's a Nintendo device? Oh, it should just come with the. Miss me.
But that's where, I mean, we see it, because even when we go back to the Wii U, when they were like, hey, you can do SD cards and external hard drives. People were like, oh my gosh, why would I? And then turned around and did the same thing with PlayStation and Xbox, and it was okay, and which we're still doing now, because even Xbox has proprietary, like, expansions. So it depends on the company, and I've learned that a long time ago. It has nothing to do with the practice. It just depends on the company that's practicing it, and they don't care for Nintendo to do it. They don't like Nintendo, and that's okay if you don't like Nintendo. But why do you keep commenting on it? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. So if you want to have more battery, then play it docked. If you want to play it handheld, just ensure you're next to your charger, because that's what I was told people do with their Steam Decks and their ROG allies. Like, oh, I just keep mine plugged in when I play so I can play at 30 watts. All right, then, like, do the same thing here. I'm so confused. Like, if you don't like them, then just don't like them, but don't make up these false narratives that this is just somehow a bad thing. It was the same thing with the game key card. Sony and Xbox have been doing this for years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Nintendo was just trying to find a way to get companies from doing that download box crap, like having an empty case. That is literally what they've.
And I think it's a great idea because
pro-consumer thing.
Yeah, y'all looking at it way backwards. Like this can still be sold back to the company, so you can make some money back on your next purchase. Mm-hmm. What are you complaining about? It's not digital and it's not physical. You took it to the library. That's basically what you did. You took it to the library. You paid some money for it. Now you're bringing it back so you can get some money back to pay for your next purchase.
There you go.
It's sort of like having the actual physical version of the digital game cards, where you can lend it out and somebody can still play it, but they can't play it if you take it back. So it's pretty much the same thing, just the actual physical version of that everybody thought was a physical thing. So now you have the thing you thought existed.
Yeah.
True.
They were saying that this is what it should be. They got it and they were like, but I don't want that. I needed more than that. This is what I said. I didn't say that. I actually wanted more. I said the minimum, this is what it should be. But you got what it should be. So
right. And the funny thing about it is, for anybody that's paying attention, anybody that's trying to push this whole like Steam Deck is a better value, blah, blah, blah. The next handheld that's set to come out, it still has the same chipset as the ROG Ally X. Like that Z1 Extreme is going to be around for a minute. So it's only going to go so far. And y'all not going to pay the money for the ones that's actually outperforming those two devices.
Right.
Because when it comes down to Steam Deck, Valve can eat that cost. Like they can eat it. Yeah. Most companies can't eat that cost. So whenever I constantly hear this comparison of, oh, well, if Steam Deck can do it, then okay, it's feasible. When in reality, it's not even the strongest handheld PC. It's just the more casual friendly one.
Yeah.
So if you want to get into the stronger ones, you might want to look at 1X Player. You want to look at GPD Win. You want to look at any of Neo's devices that are out there. They're much stronger and they can do a lot more. It's just you're not going to pony up the $1,000+ for it. You're not. So,
and my thing is, and I think you said it before, is like the Steam Deck is not doing 1080p and definitely not at 120 frames.
Sure,
y'all can forget that. Let that boy burn.
Didn't they say that 40 frames was a sweet spot? Y'all remember that?
Yeah, I know it's no longer a sweet spot. Yeah. Right. You can't make this stuff up. That's what I'm saying. Like all these people who sat there and listened to Digital Foundry for weeks before this even came around was like, yeah, I'm sure that it's not going to do 4K, let alone 4K 60. Like,
and lo and behold,
I'm sure that it's going to cost too much for them to do 1080p, so they'll probably stick with 720p on an LCD screen. And then it shows up, and then everybody's like, "Well, that ain't strong enough. That ain't powerful enough. That it can't do that." Like, shut your mouths. Y'all don't know what y'all want. No, we know what we want as Nintendo fans. Y'all don't know when to quit. That's what it is.
That's that.
And then Brownie, to answer your question, no, it's only 800p screen.
Yeah.
But as far as like also the comments of, oh, well, now Nintendo fanboys care about graphics. It's not about caring about it. It's not. It's literally about, hey, we see what they showcase and we're saying amazing. But we never went
to play.
Yeah, we just acknowledged that it was there. We never went out of our way to like, oh, we need 4K, we need this. That was y'all saying that Nintendo wasn't with the times because they're using out-of-date technology, which everybody does because technology doesn't stop. But it's definitely one of those things to where one thing I will say, and they cannot combat me on this, Nintendo said our device does 4K 120. Then they proceed to show you a game that can do 1080 120 or 4K 60. Sony and Xbox didn't do that. A third-party game had to come do that by the name of The Tourist. That is a smaller indie game.
Mm-hmm.
They had 8K on that box, and they have yet to show you an 8K game coming from Sony.
Yep.
Put it in the box in big black colors.
Yeah.
They told you this is what the device can do, and they didn't even offer it to you. So
how that sign has vanished on that box.
Yeah, it was false advertisement.
I remember when Stadia was the first thing that came out of their mouths. We get up to 8K. I'm like, y'all can't. We ain't got 4K yet. Why are you saying that?
Right.
Don't even say that. And you see what Stadia is.
Yep. Non-existent. So
yeah.
But I know everybody here and the people in the chat, for the ones that are going to get it, they genuinely understand what it is they're getting into, what they're purchasing. And, for anybody that wanted a Steam Deck, they would have gotten it by now. That price has fallen off that device so quick. Like, you can get them for about $300 right now. So it's affordable. Because when it came out, no, it wasn't affordable. And it was very hard to get because only Valve was selling them. Now you can get them in GameStop. You can get them from Facebook Marketplace. You can get them everywhere now. But most people do not want to tinker. Most people don't want to get into that. And that's what I think that PC crowd don't want to hear. Because even like what the PC Gamer channel, like they've been going ham this week. And I'm like, no one cares. Like, it's just they don't care. It's you trying to flash something that didn't sell more than 4 million from what we just heard. If it's been out as long as it's been, and it did all the comparisons to the Switch, and it only sold 4 million, I'm sorry, that's the peak. It's not happening. People don't want it.
Yeah,
and it's a reason why Valve is not going to do another one. They're just going to loan out SteamOS and let everybody else do it. So, like I said before, if PC handhelds were really competition, the ROG Ally and the X would have sold better. The Legion Go would have sold better. The MSI Claw would have sold better. And then all the other Korean ones that I mentioned earlier would have sold better. The Legion Go S is getting ready to come out now. It's not going to sell anything.
They're only at what, 7 million total? Is that what it is?
Yes, across all of them. So then it's like, and not, like I said, while it hurts me to say, I go and I advocate for the VR side, but I'm not stupid. VR didn't sell like that, and it doesn't sell like that. It's billing, and it's expensive. So it's one of those things of like, while it's something you may be interested in, you can't then go around and say, oh, well, this is just a better deal and people really should buy it. No, you got to look at the other side too, because I can go to you and say, all right, I have a PC handheld and a VR headset. If I was to try to go and say, okay, who am I going to sell Quest 3 to? I won't sell it to most people because most people don't have the space. Most people don't care to spend the extra money for corrective vision like I had to do because you got to put the lenses in there. And most people do not want to get in some of those games because they can't even get past the moderate level. Damn if they even get to the intense, because the intense means that you really don't have any motion sickness. So there's so many avenues to that. And then now Quest gaming prices are going up. Like Civilization on Quest was just priced at $60 the other day. Like a $60 VR game was something I never thought I was going to see, but it popped up. And so that's where we are with it. And the one thing that bugs me, like there are some great content creators on the VR space, but they have a bad habit of showing games on the Quest 3 that's being streamed from the PC. And I'm like, that's not a good representation for that headset.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So you're sending a false narrative. So that's the same thing when we talk about the handheld PC crowd. Is it cool? Yes, you could take your Steam library on the go. But in all reality, who's really dragging around that huge device? And if you are, like you said, battery life ain't gonna be too much of nothing unless you got a rechargeable battery. And on top of that, you're tinkering. And that's why I was like, the only way Xbox pulls off this handheld console is if they start making profiles that's gonna work, so that way people don't have to go work for it. We just watch people black reading comprehension when Nintendo told them to go to a website. What you think they're gonna do with a PC handheld? Like that's not gonna work.
That's true. That's true.
Look, and Xbox Microsoft can coin it smart profiles.
There you go.
They already got smart delivery, smart profiles.
Another thing y'all can
smart glass. Oh wait.
Another thing you can steal from Andre. Go there. He just gave you something.
Paychecks need to be in the mail.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on the first one.
Waiting on them checks from Capcom.
All right, people. We're gonna call it a night. Thank you, everybody in chat. We appreciate you guys for showing up, coming through and hanging out with us tonight. Andre, anything you want to pimp out?
Just look out for a video about the misinformation. I'm not going to be nice. That's it.
Hey, I don't be nice. I do not blame you. Sandstorm.
Actually, go to Jack real quick. I got to talk to my son. Sorry.
All right, Jack.
So a lot of the videos was going to be very similar to what Andre was doing, but between him, Prime, and Doc Trey, I'm like, they got it covered. I'm not I'm not even gonna get into it because they're saying essentially the same stuff I'm saying. So I'm not even going to get into it. I'll still just be on my Twitter fingers on that end if I run across something that I feel is stupid enough that I want to comment to. But outside of that, like I said, I still plan to do the Retro Pocket 5 video. I still plan to do more Switch 2 content whenever it's readily available. I know we're all on hold right now because of the tariff crap. But I think what the next thing really would be the Mario Kart World Direct. So which I'm pretty sure we'll all respond to that. So it's going to be something in itself. And I think I've said everything I need to say as far as the stupidity is concerned, both on this one, the last podcast, and then also on my own Twitter stuff. So at this point, I'm just leaving it up to God at this point because you can't help everybody. So it is what it is. So right now I'm taking this opportunity just to kind of wrap up on music. And then I saw your message, Sandstorm. Yes, sir. I expect you to do that.
Okay.
So and I'll send it over to you. But so right now I'll take the opportunity to focus on music because we got a lot of releases coming at the end of the year. I got to get on these videos, otherwise TJ gonna get on to me about that too. But I got to record this. But other than that, man, just subscribe to everybody here. Be smart, and also you're seeing what content creators are really content creators, because the ones that you go to for information might have let you down this week, and so so
you still got there's some good ones still in there.
There's still some good ones out there, but the ones that are not, they kind of weeded themselves out. So go and subscribe to the ones that made sense for you this week. And that's it.
All right, Sandstorm.
So yesterday we had the whole talk about the reveal. It was me, Jack, Nintendo Cisco, Vito, Noto. Was that all of us? Me, Jack. Yeah. And Geronimo. My bad. Co-host Geronimo. Thank you. Yeah. That's my bad.
I caught you for it.
I messed up yesterday too. So Shadow's not here today, so I messed up yesterday real bad too on that.
Oh, you really did. They was on your head about that.
So, but we talked about the reveal as well. Next week we'll probably be talking about getting more into depth to the Treehouse stuff. So we'll probably look at some videos and stuff like that and get in real deep on the Treehouse. And then we also have a giveaway going on right now. So if you go over to the channel, the last video, and I will put a post on Twitter at some point, probably tomorrow, that we're having a Switch 2 giveaway. So yes, and I'm gonna let y'all know the new. Yeah, I know. I'm just like throwing away money. I know. Is me. It's me. It's not the whole Stormcast crew. Is just me. But just so y'all know, Gleam wouldn't let me do it, but you have to be a subscriber in order to qualify. You may still throw in an entry, but if I don't see that you are a subscriber for it, you ain't getting the system. So make sure that you are a subscriber first. And then do all the ways that you can apply for the giveaway. Tomorrow is the Jill podcast over on the Juices Loose podcast with Terminator Juice. We will probably be talking about the same thing. So you will get everybody's opinions and thoughts over there as well. Make sure you guys show up for that. And then Friday, this coming Friday, we have Vitoverse. So where we talk about entertainment and all of that. So make sure if you aren't subscribed to Vito's channel, make sure you go subscribe to Vito's channel. It will be on my channel as well. And probably on Noto's channel as well, but just make sure you subscribe over there. And we got a whole lot to talk about as far as entertainment, as some things have come up this past week for entertainment purposes. So, yeah, that's all I got.
All right, and I'm currently working on some stuff, so I'm gonna just continue to do that. So I put some lives up. Please check them out. I did do a live yesterday afternoon. I may try to do another one because I'm about to get my scale in Xenoblade Chronicles X. So yeah, so I might go in and do all that because I'm doing the licensed stuff now. So I'll probably do a live getting all that stuff done. So other than that, that's pretty much all I got. We will see you guys next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So y'all have a good one, and we'll see you there.
Peace.
Peace out.
Peace.
Bro.